my friend, loosen your grip on life. That very willingness opens something in you. When you truly let go of the need to control, everything changes. These few short words, loosen your grip on life. To consider, to contemplate, to be willing to just loosen up. Loosen up what? Loosen up this tight fist, the tight fist of judgment, the tight fist of resistance, the tight fist that is the ultimate no. The tight fist, the resistance, the rigidity, the bracing, the hardness, the defensiveness or attackingness. To loosen that up. The ego, the self, is predicated on this tightness. It's how it seeks its validation. Its very existence is built on this tightness. And it gets worse and it gets worse and it gets more extreme. This is not a talk about relaxation. This is beyond relaxation. This is considering the possibility of loosening the grip on life. What does that look like? Well, imagine loosening the grip. Something opens within us. We fall in. At first, it's probably going to be frightening to entertain the possibility of loosening the grip. Who are we if we loosen the grip on life? On how we move through life, on how we move through our relationships. Loosening the grip opens something. It might not be pleasant at first. It might be freaky. It might be scary. It might even be terrifying. It might be disorientating. But I don't know who I am if I let go. Exactly. That's the whole point. That is the whole point. To let go of who you think you are and fall into something deeper. Does it bring up vulnerability? Yes. Does it bring up fear? Yes. Does it bring up a kind of, I don't know what this means. I don't feel secure anymore. Yes. And all of these areas are almost fundamental areas on the path of awakening. They can't be dismissed. At some point on the path we need to loosen up. And loosening up isn't, just some, relaxation with the self still intact, or relax when we're doing the massage, or when we're dancing, or when we're even meditating. But the rest of the time we revert to our tight self, to our tight way of being. And this isn't necessarily overt. This can be very, subtle. To see if we're braced in any way, to see to what extent we've built up a certain amount of rigidity and armouring and defendedness and this tight grip. Loosen it up. Consider what it means, the implication of loosening one's grip on life. It means, trusting, control, the control issue again. We think that somehow that being kind of tight with it, which we've been trained to be, it's almost our default setting, somehow brings us the control over ourselves, over the environment, over our experience. But really it just imprisons us. Loosen the grip. Entertain the possibility of loosening the grip. Because on the path of awakening, The grip has to be loosened. It loosens itself eventually with grace, with persistence, with willingness, with surrender, with awareness, with seeing just how defined we are by the tight grip that we seek to assert and employ upon ourselves and upon the world, as if that somehow guarantees or maintains our survival. But really, it just maintains and perpetuates our suffering. And so if we really want freedom, a deeper freedom in the midst of life, then we have to consider what loosening our grip means. And you say how. This isn't about how. This is about seeing it, seeing that the grip is already there and what it would feel like. What does it feel like? Not what do you think, or what does it feel like to loosen one's grip? Is it refreshing? I don't have to judge that. I don't have to be tight around that. What does it mean for my existence if I'm not tight around that? When this happens, and I always respond in this way, because that's who I've come to believe that I am, when I decide not to, and I say, okay, and let it in, who am I? How do I live? What's the definition of myself? Maybe there isn't a definition of yourself, because if you let go and you loosen your grip, who is the self? What is the self? Because it's maintained by the hardness, by the tightness, by this idea of me and it, me and life, me and the other. Endlessly, all day, it's being affirmed. And this is a very radical invitation to loosen that grip, because by and by, eventually, as you go further and further and further into this, there's a softening. There's a softening of the boundaries between me and other, between me and world, between me and experience, between me and life. Not in some ridiculous way, but in a way that causes a deeper intimacy. And so this maintaining of the rigidity softens, and we become more harmonious with life. One could say one with life, but that has an idea in it. It's just more harmonious, because we're meeting life without that hardness. We're meeting life with a more graceful, gentle softness, a looseness within ourselves. And this is really beautiful, because it makes life richer. It makes us more aware. It keeps us more grounded. We're not living through fear, living by fear and rigidity and all of these constraints that we put around ourselves. Soften the grip.